Your brain is rotting, or at least in theory it is. We live in an age where we are so bombarded with so much media and so much noise that day by day our brains turn into mush and we end up being brain-dead idiots who don't have anything else to do but consume and get worse. Now I know what you're asking.
How did it get like this? Will it even get better? And how do I get myself out of this endless pit of consumption and the effects it has on me?
You want to stay with me here because the truth is actually shocking. Let's start with how and why everything turned out the way it is right now. The reason why we have endless entertainment and we're glued to our phones to the point where we know it's bad for us but we refuse to change it. It sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it all started with big tech companies and their owners doing research into human psychology to find out the best way to make their apps as addicting as possible.
And how exactly does that help them?
Well, think about it. The longer you stay on social media sites and apps, the more ads they can show you and the more money they can make from you.
Well, how do they get you to stay on their apps longer?
You get people to be addicted to your app so much that they can't stop scrolling. The people behind these apps know that their apps create sparks of dopamine that can't be replicated from anything else. I said apps a little too much there. They also know that the human brain isn't used to this level of dopamine release, so naturally we get addicted to it. Their aim is to make apps that keep you scrolling and addict you to the point where you're just numb to everything and your brain is rotting. If they cared how their apps impact us, they would put more measures in place to prevent us from being addicted to them. But as we all know, money makes the world go round and the people at the top don't care about you. That's why the world is the way it is today and why you're always fighting yourself trying to keep yourself away from all this brain-numbing media. Now on to whether or not this harmful epidemic will ever stop and whether it will get better in the future. That one isn't as easy to answer because it depends on a lot of things. For example, if the people decide to stand up against the powers that be and stop these big tech companies from exploiting them, then the problem would definitely be solved as quickly as it formed. On the other hand, if things keep going the way they are right now, then we're most probably gonna get worse and worse. We're not going to be able to think for ourselves because our mind have been fried in the process of watching endless content and consuming so much from the internet. When that happens, then the companies that want to farm us for billions will win and humanity will be the downfall of itself. Personally, I think we'll fall somewhere within the gray area of that, where some people decide to end the cycle of endless scrolling and some just keep scrolling and fall victim to what big tech plans for them. It'll only get better for you if you do what it takes to make it better, and that is in your own hands. Speaking of what's in your own hands, if you want to join me to have a journey outside of the constant matrix and into your most authentic, true and fulfilled self, subscribe. Now the most important part of all of this. The light at the end of the tunnel. If you're one of the people that actually wants to stop consuming and not fall into the pit created by big tech, then listen carefully. You are going to sacrifice everything you think is important right now to dumb your life down.
What do I mean by that?
Well, we all have things that we think are important to us but don't actually do anything for the trajectory of our lives. These are the things put into your mind by the apps that you use. The notifications, updates, stories, uploads, etc. Apps like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok put a lot of money into research to find ways to manipulate your mind and get you addicted to their apps. One of the things they use are the red notification circles you see on the home screen as you scroll it. This makes you feel like you need to reply to whatever notification you get, and it's really important to do that when it really isn't. Another one is the notification sounds and the pop-ups. All of these make you more curious and play on the human brain's desire to get more information, which leads you to these apps. You need to let go of all of these things because the truth is, it all doesn't matter anyways. The extreme thing you could do to solve these problems would be to dumb your life down, delete all of social media, leave your phone home more, and get yourself used to the silence. It gets you to be more productive and the boredom you get from it makes you be way more creative. The thing is, a lot of people would do anything to escape boredom, even get shocked, which is what one experiment found. That's why you need to accept all of the sacrifice mentally. Things will get hard before they get better, but it's a solution that will save you time, mental space, and energy. If like me you use social media for your business or you're not willing to fully sacrifice deleting all your social media apps, I was suggesting putting your phone on Do Not Disturb regularly and going to the notification settings to manually disable all the notifications from your phone. This silences all of the apps and keeps you from being distracted every time you work. Also make it so your phone doesn't turn on when you raise it and it only turns on when you press the power button. It makes everything intentional and prevents you from going down a pit because your phone is always on. The point of this is to make your phone dumber, to take away from the distraction and silence the noise that comes from the internet. I am personally fed up with all of this noise and want out of this matrix. If you feel the same, then subscribe to my channel and make sure you give all of these tips a shot. Thanks for watching and do it different.